Yo, 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 this your boy, the real McCoy, coming at you, man. He talking about boxing for all my boxing heads out there, man, and just gonna jump right into it, man. This video might be kind of long. I hope not, you know what I mean. But it's a subject that I feel pretty passionate about, you know what I mean. And that is it time for boxing, professional sport of boxing, to have a unified commission, you know what I mean? A unified commission, you know what I mean. And it's something that a lot of people have been talking about and for a while, and they believe that it's time to do it. And I firmly believe it is. You know what I'm saying? And you look at my man Teddy Atlas. You know, a lot of guys probably know Teddy Atlas from ESPN Friday Night Fights. You know what I mean? They had a good 17-year run. Now they got the PBC. You know what I mean? By Al Heyman. Teddy Atlas, he go all the way back to Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson was first coming up. He was under the training, the tutelage of the late great Cus D'Amato. Teddy Atlas, he was there too. You know, I mean, he was there. He helped train Mike Tyson for the first 4 or 5 years of his career, and until they had a situation. Guns got involved and things like that between Mike and Ted. But anyway, man, Teddy Atlas, he's been saying for a while that boxing needs a unified commission. He's been saying it for a while. Others have been saying it for a while too, but he's one that's recognizable from boxing fans that we know. Yeah, you know what I mean. I know Teddy. He's been saying it for a while, and I totally agree with him. You know what I mean. And the talk started coming again. I mean, the Timothy Bradley Manny Pacquiao fight, the first one. And everybody felt like, Manny Pacquiao got raw. He clearly beat Timothy Bradley. And the world went, mainly because it was Manny Pacquiao, let's be honest. But the world went crazy, and Teddy started saying it again. Hey, we need a unified commission. And I was like, yeah, I think it's time for that. I'm not saying if we did get a unified commission, it's going to solve everything. I'm not saying that, but there are a lot of things that it can help. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at for the fighters. You know what I mean? I'm just an average guy who loves boxing, and I want to promote the sport in a positive way, good, positive, healthy way, and also look out for the fighters. They're the ones in the ring getting punched in the face for a living. You know what I'm saying? I want to help out the fighters, and I think a commission can do that, and also help us out, the fans as well. You know what I mean? I think one thing that a unified commission can do, the first step that it could take, or the first step to having a unified commission, is have a unified medical process. Depending on the venue or the location of the fight, all the 50 states, they have different medical procedures or process as far as clearing a fighter to fight. Not saying there's 50 different. I mean, for the most part, they're similar, but they're not all unified. I think that's one thing that boxing, a commission, can definitely fix. Have one single unified commission. You know what I'm saying? For far as medical process or the procedure. I have no med school, no medical degree under my belt, or medical education, anything like that. But I'm pretty sure you can get people from all 50 states to come together and agree. I think so, and agree on having a unified medical procedure, process, whatever you want to call it, as far as clearing fighters to fight in that particular state. I think that's one of the first things that can be done. I don't say the easy, but that's one of the first things that can be done. I think that can be done, man, because it's time. It's time, man. And you know what I mean. Then you look at all the other major sports. They have commissions. I mean, I'm not saying boxing is like a league. There aren't franchises. There aren't no teams like Yankees and Cowboys and and Golden State Warriors and Chicago Blackhawks. We don't have teams, but at the end of the day, you can unify a sporting commission. I mean, it can be done. I mean, the NFL and the NBA and the NHL and Major League Baseball, they all started. They all have originated from somewhere. Everything has to start from somewhere, and boxing can do the same thing. You know what I mean? In the NBA, you've got Adam Silver, the commissioner, took over for David Stern. Baseball was Rob Manfred, you know what I mean? Took over for Bud Selig. Hockey is Bertman, something like that. NFL, you got Roger Goodell, took over for Paul Tagliabue. things like that back in the day, and so it can be done. Now, if you did have a unified commission, you know what I mean, who's going to be the commissioner? You know what I mean? I think you need somebody. The first name that come to mind for me is Teddy Atlas. You know what I'm saying? I like Teddy. He's straightforward. He's a straight shooter. He's gonna tell you what you need to hear. May not always what you want to hear. You know what I mean? He's honest. You know, he has no affiliations or connections with any promoters, with any TV networks. Well, he was on ESPN, but not HBO or Showtime, anything like that. He's not afraid to tell somebody no. My only issue or concern with Teddy is if he say the day he's announced as a new Boxing Soul commissioner, and the press and the media start asking him tough questions. If you know Teddy, Teddy gets a little animated, gets a little heated. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him arguing with the media. I mean, everybody's human. He has every right to do that, but it just, you know what I mean, it doesn't look good on the sport. I mean, your commissioner is conducting himself that way. You know what I mean? Like I say, I'm just an average guy who loves boxing, and I want to promote the sport positively. You know what I mean? And that's all I want to do, man. And I'm not saying Teddy's bad, but that's my one concern that I do have about. Other than that, man, I love Teddy Atlas, man. I was thinking maybe somebody like Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I mean? He's on. He does PBC on NBC as one like a guest analyst, something like that, with Al Michaels. Al Michaels does a Sunday Night Football on NBC with Chris Collinsworth. You know, the Sunday Night Football. Sugar Ray Leonard, he's well respected, well known from hardcore boxing fans, casual fans. He's been the pinnacle of the sport, been a champion. He knows what fighters go through. He knows fighters want to get paid, things like that. He's a good humble, that I know of. He's pretty humble, you know what I mean? He has no affiliations or no associations, any connections with any promoters that I know of. You know what I mean? He's well respected throughout the boxing world. And he's just somebody I came to him, or maybe somebody like Evander Holyfield. Good dude. I just think that you need somebody who's kind of down to earth, who can just promote. I just want to promote boxing, man. I love boxing. I'm passionate about boxing. I just want to promote boxing in a good way. You know what I mean? I think Holyfield or Sugar Ray Leonard could be the commissioner. You know what I'm saying? But not saying if it's not those two guys, I'm not down for. I'm not saying that at all. You know what I mean? Those are just two names that come to mind for just me off the top of my head. You know what I mean? But yeah, it definitely can happen. I know in tennis, in the sport of tennis, they've talked about having a sole commissioner. I heard some people say he needs to be a former player who's played the sport, who knows what the players go through, the business side of it. And I also heard I read the article, I forgot who wrote the article. They were saying that it doesn't need to be a former player at all. It's not good if it's a former player. It needs to be some type of lawyer, somebody who has a legal background, who understands the legal aspects of running a sport. Which at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I mean? Me being a pre-law student, I understand that side. I do. But if I had to pick, I prefer it to be a former fighter, preferably, or somebody who's been around the sport, been around the game, like Teddy Atlas, somebody like that. You know what I mean? But I definitely get the legal side of it, man. But I mean, if we had a unified commission, what it can do is it can get these fighters paid, man. I mean, I know that's what makes the world go around is money, man. I mean, if you pick, say Pennsylvania, I'm picking a random state, Pennsylvania. The promoter does all the legal paperwork. He does everything. You get two fighters. It's it's their first professional fight in Pennsylvania. Now, nobody knows about this fight unless you live not even a state, unless you live in a local town, city, whatever. They may promote it in the paper, they may promote it on the radio, whatever the case may be. They fight 4 rounds. Cool, that's dandy. Say they fight for $1,000 a round. 4 rounds. That's $4,000. But once you pay the promoter, your cut man, state, federal taxes, your trainer, you know what I mean? You cut man, and once you pay all this other stuff, say you down to like $3,000. You know what I'm saying? And $3,000 in today's economy, man, that ain't gonna last you that long. I mean, especially if you married or a wife, girlfriend, whatever. You got children. You know what I mean? $3,000. That ain't gonna last you long. You need to fight next month right off the bat, and that happens all the time. all the time. There's always some type of fight going on. It happens all the time. And what I think, when you look at the NFL, NBA, NHL, and all the other sports, Major League Baseball, they all have a minimum, like a minimum minimum salary. And I think if you have a unified commission, if it's established and built up correctly through, it's going to take money, of course. It's going to take finances. Try and get as many donations as you can. You know what I mean? Get some investors, things like that, and you can get some shareholders and somebody to invest. I mean, you get a business plan to tell people what you're trying to do, they'll buy into it. You know what I mean? If it's built up right, you can set like a minimum salary for a boxer. You know what I mean? Your very first, like the minimum a professional, once you turn professional, the minimum you can make 20,000, I don't know, we'll say 20,000. You know what I mean? And compared to, if I'm not mistaken, if you look at the money that Floyd Mayweather's making now, I think Floyd Mayweather's first fight, he made $2,500. I could be wrong, but I think it was $2,500, man. You know what I'm saying? But compared to where he's at now, I mean, that's nothing. So, I mean, your first professional fight, you make 20. That's what a unified committee, that's what it can, not saying it will, but that's what it can do. You know what I mean? Like I say, if they get a commission and they're looking out for the fighters, they're looking out for the fighters financially, health-wise, things like that, that's what a unified commission, that's what it can do. Not saying it will, but that's what it can do. The other sports are doing it, and they're booming. NFL is booming. NHL, I mean, people in the United States, they're watching these sports. No doubt. You know what I mean? You can't have me, you've got a guy fight, getting punched, and he's making $4,000. Now, some of you probably saying that, hey, it's their choice to be boxers. Nobody's forcing them to do it, and why give them $20,000? When you look in baseball, Giancarlo Stanton, the right fielder for the Miami Marlins, I think $300 million contract? The first $300 million athlete, you know what I'm saying? Now, it's over, I think, 13 years, but still. So, $300 million compared to $20,000, that's chump change, you know what I'm saying? It can be done. Man, I don't, as a fan, I don't have an issue with that. It's way better than these guys making. Even sometimes they even make some. I've seen where some guys fight a 4-round fight for like $800 a month. Not a month, a round. $400 a round. Man, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what having a unified. That's what it can do. Not saying it will, but that's what a unified commission can do if it raises the finances and establish it correctly. Get enough smart business people to put it all together. That's what it can do, man. Have these guys fighting for nothing. I know. Now what I don't, because I heard this idea too. I don't want this at all. Senator John McCain. A lot of you guys probably know John McCain. He was the one in 2008 won the Republican nomination, Republican nominee for president in 2008, but he lost to Barack Obama. You know what I mean? But if I'm not mistaken, he's a former. He boxed for the Navy, I believe, in his earlier days in the Navy. Him and Senator Harry Reid from Nevada. You know what I mean? Las Vegas, Nevada. You know what I mean? He's a former, I believe, in the middleweight division. He boxed professionally, if I'm not mistaken, in the middleweight division. And both of those senators have come out and said that boxing needs to have a unified commission. But they're saying that the government needs to get involved and create some type of litigation for it. That's when I drew the line. As boxing fans, we do not want the U.S. government involved in boxing at all. I mean, if that's the only way to do it, I might be just say, you know what, leave it like it is. It's been this way for this long, leave it, because we don't want the government in boxing, man. Not saying that U.S. This isn't an anti-government, video, but just over the years, the distrust from the American people, how we feel about because once if you get the government involved, they get into your pockets, man. It's gonna be bad, because then they're gonna start creating litigation, laws, and rules to favor a particular politician or a particular political party, and now he's completely gotten away from the fighters themselves. I care about the fighters. You know what I mean? They're the ones in the ring getting punched in the face for a living. That's what I care about. So I appreciate those senators, John McCain and Harry Reid, for saying that, but I don't want the government to get involved. That's one of the solutions I heard, and I was like, no, don't want the government. Now they can do it. If they chose to come in and create some type of they can do it. You know what I mean? They can help. They can do it. But man, if boxing can help, stay away from that. Stay away from you know what I mean, for the U.S. government getting involved. We don't want that at all, man. You know what I mean? Unified Commission, what they can do, have like I say, a minimum salary, like I was saying earlier. Because you look at the other sports, the baseball and football, NBA, NHL, they all have a minimum salary. I think they're all right around like $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Now, with Major League Baseball, for you baseball fans, you know, let me know in the comment section that once a guy gets called up from the big leagues and goes up to the show, Major League Baseball, I don't know as far as, you know, is he making $500,000? I don't know exactly how. I believe that's the case. I'm not 100% sure, but you can let me know on that. But if those other sports can do it, boxing can have a minimum salary too. I mean, 25 is that 25,000 compared to 500,000 on average, something like that. I think all four sports right around 500,000, something like that. Compared to that's still chump change compared to the other sports. You know what I mean? But that's what a unified commission, that's what it can do. That's what it can establish. So these guys are getting paid. Because you have some guys who have the talent and the skill set to box, but when they look at it, man, I turned pro, I only make $4,000 a fight. I got a family to feed, you know what I'm saying? And it's turning them away from the sport. You know what I mean? I want to try and promote the sport. You know what I'm saying? To people to get back, because people say, oh, boxing is dead. They might be not as popular as it was here in the U.S., but globally, boxing is still pretty popular. You know what I mean? But what I want to do, promote it, and get guys and gals who have the talent to get back in boxing to do it. But when at the end of the day, man, you got to make a living. You know what I mean? You want to make $4,000. I mean, that's just not enough. And that's why if we had a unified commission, that's something that they can possibly be able to set up in that base. But if they did that, what they might do is also because the promoters are the ones forking up all the money promoting fights. They might say, well, that's too much. But I mean, if you got some top-notch fighters, you'll be able to equal yourself out. What it might do, what a commission might, now I wouldn't complain if the commission did this, if they had a max. I mean, all the other sports got a max salary or a salary cap, except for Major League Baseball, but they do have a luxury tax that the penalties are pretty severe. It's basically almost a salary cap, but the luxury tax is pretty severe, you know what I mean? But have a max salary. Say no fighter can make no more than $15 million. You know what I mean? I mean, as a fan, I think, because if you look at it, if you take out especially Floyd Mayweather, you take out Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, what fighter out there is consistently making more than $10 million a fight? I think it's nobody that I know of. I mean, I don't think Klitschko's. I don't think none of the big Andre Ward. I don't think any of the big time fighters. Canelo. I don't think anybody's consistently making over $10 million a fight. You know what I mean? They might even get rid of pay-per-view. I mean, as boxing fans, we all say that most of us say that the golden age of boxing, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and maybe even a little bit of the 80s, when you had the Bronze Bomber Joe Louis and the Archie Moores, Rocky Marciano, Rocky Graziano, Muhammad Ali, Smoking Joe Frazier, Thomas the Hitman Hearn, Sugar Ray Leonard, George Foreman, Sonny Liston. Then they went into Roberto Duran, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Ken Norton, Larry Holmes came along. A lot of people say that was the best time of golden age of boxing. But when you go back and look at it, there wasn't pay-per-view at that time. There wasn't. But you could see Muhammad Ali fight Sonny Liston on a local network. You know, we already got PBC. You get a unified commission. They might be like, well, we have a minimum. We look at the other four major sports in the U.S. They have a max as well. No fighter can make no more than 15, maybe 20, maybe 15 million, and no pay-per-view. You know what I mean? I mean, once again, if you take out Floyd, if you take out Manny Pacquiao, what fighters are making a consistent mainstay on pay-per-view? Nobody. They tried to push Canelo as that guy. He wasn't doing the numbers. Like 300,000, he wasn't consistently doing the numbers. So I don't want to, bust anybody bubble or hopes or dreams like I'm gonna turn pro and I'm gonna make Floyd Mayweather type of money. That's an anomaly. That's rare. Floyd Mayweather's skill set in the ring and the money he's making is rare. You know what I mean? It's rare. I don't want to bust nobody bubbles, you know what I'm saying? If that's your hopes and dreams. But that might be something that you may have to, if we did do a unified commission compared to the other 4 sports, that might be one of the things that you may have to sacrifice or give up if you have plans on turning pro. But if you look at it, your first pro fight, instead of making $4,000, you make $20,000 or $25,000. Well, I mean, it might be $50,000. I don't know, whatever they decide. Because I do think that's what I think the commission should. You guys may disagree, but I do think there has to be some type so these guys can get paid, man. He's fighting around here, fighting 4 rounds and for peanuts, for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let's get these guys paid, man. Have a max, man. You know what I'm saying? If they just decide to do that, have a match. Then it's on the commission because to promote the fight, get endorsement. How many fighters do you see with commercials? Hardly. Manny Pacquiao had a commercial every now and then leading up to the Pacquiao. He's gonna fight me on a foot action. But other than that, you hardly ever see any fighters with commercials. You see LeBron James everywhere. Mike Trout got Subway. Baseball's all over the place. NBA, man, football. Richard Sherman got his own. He took over for Donovan McNabb and the Chunky's tomato soup. My bad, with his mama, and it's all over. But you don't see fighters with endorsements, man. That's what a commission can do. Promote the sport, bring in revenue to the sport, man. Make it popular again. You know what I'm saying? Get these fighters, let these guys have commercials, man. Ain't no fighters on TV, and that's what a commission can do. Promote the sport. You know what I mean? The NFL is a $1 billion industry. They bringing in revenue like crazy, man. Boxing can do that. It can be done. Not saying it's going to be easy. Promote the sport. Get endorsements. Have these guys put on TV. That's what a commission could do, man. That's what it could do. Get a unified medical process. You know what I'm saying? And some of the other things a commission could do, we don't have to miss out on certain fights. You know what I mean? If you look back, if you look back, Joe Frazier, he never fought Ken Norton. You know what I mean? Both of those guys were pretty high. You know what I mean? I think they both lost to George Foreman. They were pretty, but they never. I think Joe Frazier said that him and Ken Norton were good friends, and I think they had the same trainer. You know what I mean? But a unified commission be like, no, you guys need to fight. You know what I mean? Riddick Bowe, he never fought Mike Tyson or Lennox Lewis. He didn't fight Lennox Lewis because of his manager was the Newhouse, I think his name. His manager wasn't good for sports. His manager wasn't good for boxing. But he didn't fight Lennox Lewis. He did fight Lennox Lewis in the 88 Olympics. I think in Seoul, Korea. In the 88 Olympics, they did fight. I think Lennox Lewis stopped him. But he didn't fight Tyson or Lewis professional. Trying to think some other fights. Sugar Ray Leonard didn't fight, what's the guy named? Aaron Pryor. He didn't fight Aaron. Now, Aaron Pryor was an action-packed, fan-pleasing fighter. You know what I mean? He'll take a punch to land 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? But him and Sugar Ray Leonard didn't fight for whatever reason. We had to wait. Tyrone Trice. He didn't fight James Toney in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? We had to wait, 6 years before Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao finally fought? With a commission, we can nix that. You know what I'm saying? With a unified commission. The promoters, you guys still promote the fight. If there's any type of issue, anything like that, the unified commission can step in and be like, no, this is the fight that the fans are demanding. Get in the ring and you guys, and if for whatever reason, if these guys don't want to fight, then you have penalties. Suspend the guy. Take his license for 2 years. Take his money. I mean, if they take your license for that's 2 years in your prime, or whatever age you may be, well, you can't fight. That's what happened to Muhammad Ali. It took 3 years from him. You know what I'm saying? Took 3 years of his prime. They took it. So if that's what a unified, I mean, in other sports, a guy get in trouble, he goes see the commissioner, things like that. That's what a unified commission can do. So us as fans, we don't have to wait 6 years for Floyd and Manny Pacquiao to fight. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to miss out on Sugar Ray Leonard and Aaron Pryor, which would have been an action-packed fight. You know what I mean? Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis. We don't. So us fans, we don't have to miss out on these. That's what a commission can do. They can step in, be like, no, the fans are demanding this fight. Let's make this happen. Now, I know a lot of you fans, you guys hate the whole A side, B side. I mean, cause Floyd Mayweather's first fight with Maidana, you guys like, how dare Floyd Mayweather complain and not allow Marcos Maidana to wear his own customized glove? Well, Floyd's A side, Maidana's the B side. Now, when Floyd fought Oscar in 2007, he was the B side and De La Hoya was the A side, and Oscar said pick the gloves they were going to wear. Nobody had an issue. But anyway, that's a different video. But with a commission, we can get rid of the A side, B side. You know what I mean? We can, as far as who makes the most money, the commission can step in, like they can make a rule as far as whatever guy who's ever been the pro the longest, who's had the longer pro career, who has the most ring experience, the more wins, the more knockouts. Things. I mean, there are other ways they can determine which guy gets the boatload of the money. And then the other guy wins, you have a rematch, and things turn around. So there is no, I mean, they can't decide on the money. A unified commission can fix that. They can step in and fix that. You know what I mean? No, this is the fight that the fans want. Y'all in the same weight division. Fighter A, you've been pro or have more wins, so you get the boatload. And fighter B, you know what I mean? You still got that minimum salary, whatever it is, $20,000, $25,000. So you're still gonna be compensated fairly. So there's I'm 50-50. I'm the A side. A unified commission can get rid of that, so we didn't have to wait 6 years for Floyd to beat Manny Pacquiao, which I knew it would happen 6 years ago. But anyway, which I knew that. You know what I mean? We don't have to miss out on Tyrone Trice and James Toney, which would have been a good fight. And I think Tyrone Trice was a knockout artist. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Pryor and Sugar Ray Leonard, which would have been an action-packed fight. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to admit, and that's what a unified commission can step in and do. They can fix that stuff, man. So us, the fans, can get the fights we want. You see what I'm saying? That's what I believe the unified commission can do. We trying to let the guys settle it, but then we step in with no bias towards any fighter, any promoter. We step in right down the middle, be fair, and whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm not claiming that a unified commission is gonna fix everything. I'm definitely not claiming I got all the answers, but it can definitely help. So us, the fans, don't have to miss out. They can step in. We right down the middle, unbiased towards any side. Okay, Floyd, Manny, whoever's fighting. Be right down the middle. Whatever they decide on, okay, this is the rule and regulation. This is how we decide which fighter gets the most money, this, that, and the other. So there is no A side, there is no B side. Keep it fair. You know what I'm saying? So us as fans, so we don't miss out on big fights. We have to wait 6 years before the best two fight each other. That's what a unified commission can do. And because there is no off season, once the World Series is over in baseball, off season. NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors, congrats to them. They just beat LeBron and the Cavaliers, off season. The Patriots beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, off season. You know what I mean? Chicago Blackhawks beat the Tampa Bay Lightning on the Stanley Cup, off season. In boxing, they don't have an off season. They can fight all year round. And because of that, year-round blood and urine drug testing. That's what a commission can do. Year-round, I know Nonito Donaire, he said, I think Floyd is mentioning, Floyd Mayweather, he's mentioning, but that's what a unified commission can do. As long as you have license to be a professional fighter, boxer, you're getting drug tested. I don't care if you have no fight schedule. I don't care if you got 3 fights scheduled. As long as you're licensed, you're getting drug tested. That's what a commission can do. So a guy can't be on PEDs in February and have a fight in June or July. No, keep it fair, keep it clean across the board, man. That's what a unified commission can do, man. That's what it can do. You know, and then we gotta get rid of. Now, I think the hardest part might be the WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBO. Those 4 governing bodies. Let's say WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBF. Those 4 and their ranking systems, man, we got to get rid of them, man. They're not looking out for. I want to look out for the fighters. They're not looking out for the fighters, man. You might have a guy in the middleweight division ranked number 2 in the WBC. In the WBA, he's ranked number 8. In WBO, he's ranked number 15. In IBF, he's not even ranked at all. That don't make no sense. So when you're a fan and you're looking at his rankings, like, well, how good is this guy? Why is this guy calling out Triple G? Or if he's at welterweight, why is this guy calling out Floyd? Man, in IBF, he's not even ranked. But in the WBC, he's ranked number 2. That don't make no sense, man. That's why Teddy Atlas hasn't been promoting this. He's been saying it. I'm a big fan of these guys. Transnational boxing rankings. They've been around. They're kind of new. They've been around since 2012, so about 3 years. They are a unbiased ranking for boxing. It's about 40 members on the board. There are a bunch of sports writers and columnists they're just average fans. They're unfair though. I mean, not unfair. They're unbiased. They're totally fair and unbiased towards any promotional company or television network. Their ranking. I want you guys to look them up, man. Google transnational boxing rankings, man. They've got a top 10 from strawweight all the way to heavyweight, and they got a top 10 for pound. A legitimate rankings, man. Good rankings, man. You may disagree on, I think this guy's 4, but he should be 7. But for the most part, you can't really argue with their top 7. With their top 10. Because the WBC, man, they don't care. They can care. I mean, the WBA and all that, they just create belts out of thin air to make this guy fight this guy. No. I love Deontay Wilder at the heavyweight division. I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan in the heavyweight division. He beat Ben Stavern. Now he's the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. How is he the heavyweight champ of the world? He never fought the Klitschko brothers. Neither one. That makes no sense. Boxing fans, we've been saying for years now, unify the belts. Unify the championship at each weight class. Unify, so we know for sure. So there is no debate, and that's what a unified commission can do. If we had a unified commission, we can have a single ranking system, and I think it should be TBR, Transnational Boxing Rankings, man. Look them up, man. Look them up. The board is like over 40 board members. They're not all from the U.S., so they're biased towards U.S. fighters, and they're not all outside of the U.S. or majority. They're from 14 different countries, man, from all over the globe, man. So they're unbiased. They're just sports writers and columnists who are boxing fans, and they have a fair and they rank guys based off their performances in the ring, not who their promoters are, not who they're affiliated with, not what network they fight on. Not if they like the guy's personality or his persona in the ring, outside of the ring. Is based off a guy's performance in the ring. Transnational boxing rankings, man. Look them up, man. So as boxing fans, we get a unified commission. We have a unified or a single ranking system, so we can look at it and say, hey, this guy's ranked number 7 in lightweight division. He's fighting ranked number 4 guy in lightweight division. That's a good matchup. So there's no, so we're not missing out. So we're not confused. Like, where is Lamont Peterson ranked? You know what I mean? Who was the champion in this division? How is Ben Stavern the heavyweight champ and he hasn't fought the Klitschko brothers? Now, if I'm the commissioner, what I would do. Now, I don't like to see family feuds. You know what I mean? I get it. You don't want to see family arguing. You're supposed to stick together, have each other back. But if I'm the commissioner, I'm like, hey, look, the fans. Once again, look, I'm an average guy who loves boxing, man. I want to protect the fighters and look out for the fans. If I'm the commissioner, I tell the Klitschko brothers, hey, you guys need to fight. I understand brotherly love. They've already said they're not going to fight because they're brothers. I get it. But you chose to be in this profession. You chose to be a boxer. You guys need to fight and unify the heavyweight championship of the world. Simple as that. I hate to be kind of cold, but it is what it is. You guys need, and if they don't want to fight, you relinquish the belts, and for the unified commission, you can have penalties and sanctions and things like that. And for a guy if you don't want to fight a guy, you take his money. Boss, not they love that money. Anybody take that money and suspend their license for like a year or two. 2 years you can't fight, and you might be in your prime. Your skills are diminishing. Your talent is going down. You gotta fight, man. That's what I would do. That's what a commission could do. Make these guys fight. Unify it. So we don't have the Klitschko brothers or championship. No, it's just one. I think Vladimir, I think he would win. But you can't have the two brothers up here who aren't fighting, who've dominated the heavyweight division over the last decade, basically, since Lennox Lewis retired. And then you got Deontay Wilder, who's 34-0, 33 knockouts. He's the WBC heavyweight champ in the WBC. But he hasn't fought neither one of the Klitschko brothers. The Klitschko brothers, they haven't fought each other. No. That's what a unified commission they can step in, have penalties, suspend somebody's license, take their money. You guys need to fight. Relinquish your belt. Now, if they don't want to fight each other, then maybe if they don't fight, then they're not allowed to fight for a heavyweight championship and just be considered the people's champ. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I'm not saying that, but these guys got to fight, man. Deontay Wilder's got to fight. You can't have a WBC belt. You ain't fought the Klitschko brothers. That don't make. I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. I ain't no hater. I like Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? But you got to fight the Klitschko brothers, and they need to fight. TBR, Transnational Boxing Rankings, man. That's what they do. That's what a commission can do. You know what I'm saying? They have a unified champion in each weight class. And if they feel like that isn't happening, then it's vacant. Then if you go on their website, if there's a vacant, I think like the bantamweight, but I think Guillermo Rigondeaux is the champ for bantamweight. But say bantamweight as an example, bantamweight. If there's a vacant championship, they leave it vacant. If it hasn't been unified, they leave it vacant until the number 1 and the number 2 ranked fighters from that division till they fight, and then they'll say that's the champion of the weight class. That's what they do. That's fair, man. That's fair. Their rankings are. I mean, so you may argue, well, this guy should be. He's 9, but I think he should be 5. But if you go to the I keep saying it. Transnational Boxing Rankings. Look them up. Look them up, man. Look at their top 10. I can't argue with it. Just Google it. I mean, it's pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a vacant championship or vacant title in the division until the 1 and 2 ranked fighter fight, is vacant. You can't have the WBC belt. I'm WBA, but we ain't fought yet. That don't make no sense. Boxing fans, like, you guys gotta agree with me. We've been saying it for a while. It needs to be unified. The casual boxing fan, they're confused. Why has he got the belt and this guy's been champ? It don't make, because you got those 4 governing bodies. Now the WBC, WBO, WBA, and IBF, they're not gonna go away easy. They've been around for decades. They're not gonna just walk away. You know what I'm saying? But us fans, we all get together and push for this, because they needs to have one. We can fix this stuff, man. I'm gonna say it again. Transnational Boxing Rankings, man. We get a unified commission, sole commissioner, and that's our single ranking system. TBR. That's what we need to go with, man. And they got a good pound for pound list. That's what we need to go with, man. Instead of having these WBA stuff. But WBA, they can care less about IBF rankings. And the fans be sitting here like, well, I'm confused. Is he number 3? Is he the number 3 cruiserweight? Or is he number 15? If he's 15, why is he fighting this guy? What about number 8 is calling out number 3? You see what I'm saying? TBR. TBR, man. Can nix all that stuff. They can step in and be like, hey, the fans want this fight. You know what I mean? This guy's ranked, you know, we put him down in the top 10. You know what I mean? The fans want this fight, make this fight happen. Ain't, you know, I'm A side, I'm B side, or, you know what I mean, I want this much money. But no, the commission can step in, and if they don't want to fight that guy, both guys are in the top 10. It's a legitimate fight. It's a fight that the fans want, things like that. If they don't want to fight, then there's penalties for that. You know what I'm saying? It's penalty. Relinquish the belt, I'll suspend your license, I'll take your money. You know what I mean? Say a fighter is 24 years old. You take 2 years from him. 2 years is right in his prime. At 26 ain't gonna kill him, but 2 years right in his prime. You can't fight. That'll make these guys fight each other. There is no A side, B side, so we don't have to wait 6 years for Mayweather to fight Pacquiao. You know what I mean? The fight that you guys want, I knew it was gonna be a domination. But anyway, the fight that most of the fans wanted, man. That's what a commission can do. That's what another thing a commission can do. Boxing is arguably the most brutal sport on the planet. These guys have no pension plans. See, boxing is the most brutal sport, man. But it has no pension plan. Major League Baseball, if I'm not mistaken, as soon as you get called up to the big leagues and step onto the baseball field, you automatically, if I'm not mistaken, you qualify for a pension plan. In the NBA, once you've been in the NBA for 3 years, you get a pension plan. NFL got a pension plan. NHL got a pension plan. Even professional golf, they've got a pension plan. They don't ever get hurt. But anyway, they've got a pension plan. It's not because of injuries, but they've got a pension plan. One of the most, arguably the most brutal sport on the planet, have no pension plan for these guys. None. That's what a unified commission can do. Get some investors, get some money, get some endorsements, You know what I mean? Bring in revenue for the sport. You know what I'm saying? Get this. I mean, I don't know. Maybe either once you've been a fighter for 10 years, or you have not 10 years. Once you've been a fighter for 2 years, or if you have 10 professional fights, whichever one comes first, you can qualify for a pension plan. I don't know. I'm not saying I got all the answers, but something. You know what I'm saying? Then depending on how many fights you have, or how many belts you've won, how long you've been a champion, I don't know. They can decide what they want to do as far as what type of pension package you're available to have. But right now, they've got nothing. They've got nothing for these fighters, man. No pension, no nothing. Golf got a pension plan. NHL, NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. They've got pension plans for the athletes. Boxers don't get nothing. Absolutely nothing. No insurance. If I'm not mistaken, each state, each boxing commission, each state, they make the promoter purchase an insurance premium for the fighters. I think it's a state, and I think it has to be right around $50,000. If I'm not mistaken, don't take me to the bank on that. I think that's the process. They got I think it's like $50,000, not like cash, but a $50,000 insurance premium for the fighter, or plane, whatever you want to call it, for their fighter, which is fine. But if you say you have a guy in Pennsylvania, I use Pennsylvania again. You have one guy, he fights 4 rounds, gets paid $4,000 after taxes. He's got $3,000. Everything is good. Gets his money, everything is good. He goes home to his wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. Baby, I got a headache. He collapses, goes to the hospital. He's got a serious brain injury. Now, the promoter, legally, he's done his job. He purchased $50,000. But I'm pretty sure brain surgery, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure brain surgery costs more than $50,000. Then if that's the case, who's going to pay for it? Go to his wife? His girlfriend, she's a waitress at Denny's? Come on, you see what I'm saying? That's what a commission can do. If you look at all the other sports, NFL, baseball, and all that, when Derrick Rose, if you're a basketball fan, when Derrick Rose for the Chicago Bulls tore his ACL, the Chicago Bulls paid for his surgery. That's what they do. They don't say $50,000 just that, and that's it. Who else is going to pay for this? You see what I'm saying? The most brutal sport, and that's what a commission can do. If it's brought up right, if the money is raised properly and good, you got some good, smart people to pay for this stuff. If you look at it, most fights, after the fight, most guys, they just go home. Every now and then you might have a guy go to the hospital, get an x-ray on his, he might break a hand, something like that. But hand surgery, man, I don't know how much it costs, but I seriously doubt it costs more than $50,000. You know what I'm saying? Legally, if a guy has brain surgery and the promoter brought the insurance for $50,000, legally he ain't gotta do nothing else. He ain't gotta pay for that. WBC, WBA, those four governing bodies, they don't have to pay for that. Oh well, come on, man, come on, get some insurance for these guys. Look at the other 4 sports. If a guy is at home, an NFL player, he's at home, he slips in. These guys make all this money, they got these big houses, they got these mansions. They coming down the stairs, and if you have children like me, they leave a toy on the steps. You slip on the toy, you fall down the steps, break a leg, tear an ACL, break an arm, something like that. He didn't get hurt on the playing field or the court or the hockey rink. You see what I'm saying? He didn't, or the ice, whatever you gonna call it. He didn't get hurt. He got hurt at home. But guess what? The team will still pay for that. When in boxing, you get what, $50,000 just for that one fight. Then after that, you on your own. That's what a commission could do. That's what a commission can do. Save the money, get some endorsements, promote the sport. Promote the sport. Get these fighters on TV. Get some endorsements, man. That's what the other sports are doing. You get a unified commission, you get a trainer, you know what I'm saying, and then you can start building gyms. I don't know what they can call it. American Boxing Association, ABA. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Start building up gyms around the country. You know what I mean? Have these guys go in, because right now it's extremely difficult to be a trainer. You know what I mean? Have some courses. Hire somebody, a good trainer, to train up these guys. Have workshops. Because during the Super Bowl, in Arizona with the Patriots and the Seahawks, the NFL had a workshop where the local moms can come in who have children that are playing Pop Warner Little League football. Let them try on the helmet, the equipment, let them run plays, things like that to promote the game. That's what boxing can do. That's what it can do, man. Open up gyms, have workshops, get endorsements, create revenue, and promote the sport. So you can afford to give these fighters a pension plan. So you can afford to give these guys year-round insurance. So you can afford to do year-round blood and urine and drug testing. You see what I'm saying? That's what it can do, man. So you can make these guys make fights. So the fighters don't have to miss out on fights or wait 6 years before Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight. That's what a commission can do. We can set up some type of training program for referees and judges. Cause everybody went off on CJ Ross. Cause CJ Ross, she was the one who said Bradley beat Pacquiao in the first fight. People went crazy. She the one who said that when Floyd Mayweather, when he schooled Canelo, she said it was a draw. People went crazy. Now she finally stepped down and resigned. But what a commission can do is, not saying change everything, but have some type of training program where we can train judges, we can train these referees. Hey, what are you looking at? You know what I mean? How are you looking at the fight? You see what I'm saying? Things like that. And, you know, and train these guys so they promote it, have a website. I mean, I don't know. You got social media like crazy. Create a Twitter account so we can put, hey, this is what our judges are trained to look for. You see what I don't know. I don't claim to have all the answers, man. A unified training program. So it's clear. Now, you ain't gonna make everybody happy. That's just impossible. There's too many people on the planet. You can't make everybody happy. But at least fans, we can kind of know, okay, this is what they're looking for. The aggressive style, the more the boxer like Floyd Mayweather, the defensive, you know what I mean, things like counterpuncher, the aggressor, you know what I mean, the guys who kind of in between, mix it up. So we know that you got referees who can. It was Tommy Morrison. I forgot the guy who he was fighting, but Tommy Morrison got knocked out, which is fine. But he had his arms down, he was laying against the ropes, and he took like 6 extra punches. I forgot the guy's name. He took 6, and the referee, the reason I'm saying is, the referee should have step in. Don't get a guy hurt. We can train our refs to do that. Now, this doesn't happen all the time. Decisions, as far as guys getting raw, it don't happen I would say about 80% of the time. 80, which is a pretty good number. 80% of the time, the decisions at the end of the fight are usually okay. I can agree with that. Most boxing fans, it's not every single fight. That's horrible. He got rocked, and no, that's not the case. You know what I mean? You have a few. Was like, I mean, a lot of people debate over Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker. That fight was a draw. A lot of people say Sweet Pea dominated. I mean, I don't know. Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? CJ Ross say Floyd and Canelo was a draw. Look, I know you've got 3 judges, you got 3 different humans. They're gonna see different things. But with a unified commission, we can like, hey, we can get somebody, bring in somebody that the fans trust, a judge, a well-known, well-respected judge. Bring them on, hire him, whatever you need to do to train these, see what we're looking for. The same thing with referees, man. You got Kenny Bayless, he refereed Pacquiao Mayweather. One of the best referees, like the most athletic, things like that. Pretty smart fight. He'll step in. You know what I mean? If a guy's getting hurt and do a stoppage, I don't know who else will train up these refs so guys don't get hurt. So fans can at least see, okay, this is what boxing judges are looking for. Do something. But when it is like it is, and there's no unified what judges are looking for, or at least something, we all human, you know what I mean? And what they're looking for, then a lot of fans are gonna be scratching our heads like, Mayweather and Canelo was a draw? What? He scored him. He completely outskilled him. You know what I mean? I mean, from a physical standpoint, he didn't dominate the guy, knock him down 4 or 5 times, but from a skill standpoint, completely outskilled him. But CJ Ross said it was a draw. That's what a commission can do. That's what it can do, man. That's why I'm saying, I'm not saying that that's what it's going to do, but that's what it can do. These guys have no pensions, man. None. No kind of basic insurance. They're on their own. You know, there is no A side, B side. Fans, most fans, you guys hate that. You know what I'm saying? You won't be missing out on fights. You don't have to wait 6 years. You know what I mean? The Klitschko brothers, you guys need to fight and get it over with. Deontay Wilder, WBC heavyweight champ, he never fought the Klitschko. I mean, stuff like that. Have a minimum salary. You know what I'm saying? Well, these guys, at a minimum, your first professional fight, you can make $20,000-$25,000. The top promoters, the top ranking, Bob Arum, GBP, Golden Boy, man, they can afford that. You know what I'm saying? They can afford that. Don't let them fool you. They can afford that. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, you may have to get rid of pay-per-view, but as a boxing fan, there wasn't pay-per-view doing Floyd Mayweather, Sonny Liston, or George. There wasn't pay-per-view. You see what I'm saying? Have a max, but no fighter can make no more than $20 million a fight. And there's only 2 fighters on the planet that's even making that, including UFC, MMA. You know what I'm saying? You take out Floyd and Manny, you can't complain with that. I don't think there's anybody really making $10 million a fight. So if they take away pay-per-view, as a fan, you like, cool. People complain because they forked out a bill, $100 to watch Mayweather Pacquiao in HD, and it's usually $70. Now Floyd's about to retire, and Manny, he's on the downhill. You know what I'm saying? He's about to retire. Get rid of pay-per-view. If the fighter complains about, no, I'm not getting my pay-per-view money, then it's on the commission to promote the sport, bring in endorsements, and create revenue for the sport, man. Go out and have workshops, open up gyms and trainers. You know what I mean? You don't know, this could be a diamond in the rough. There'll be a lot of guys who want to box, but they look at the hard work they got to put into it. Then the compensation is like, I can't train this hard. They make $800 a round, which I read one article where a guy made $400 a round for a 4-round fight. $1,600, $1,600. You put that in your gas, you broke. You know what I'm saying? You get gas in your car and you broke. $1,600. You get gas and groceries. Your money's gone. You know what I'm saying? Have a minimum salary, $20,000-$25,000. That can last you, depending on how you live your life financially. You know what I mean? That can last you a couple of months in this tough economy. You know what I mean? Get ready for your next fight. You know what I'm saying? Have some type of insurance, man, pensions, something for these guys, man. Create a 24/7 channel, like the NFL Network. I watch NFL Network all the time. NFL Network, MLB Network, and the NBA got his own channel. I think hockey does too. Have a 24/7 boxing channel. You can throw in MMA and UFC too. Throw that in there too. 24/7. I'm not talking about HBO with Jim Lampley, the fight game. No. I don't want Jim Lampley anywhere near this. He's so biased. You know what I'm saying? Get some unbiased people on there. You know what I mean? Some Paulie Malignaggi, some Roy Jones Jr.'s, some Bernard Hopkins. You know what I mean? You know, have some guys on there, man. Whoever the commission is, have them come down and interview. But don't anybody that's on there now, but get in some new faces on a 24/7 channel. NFL can do it. NFL Network. NBA's got his own channel. Major League Baseball got his own channel. If you get a commission, we can do something like that. I'm not saying I'm involved, but it can do something like that. Promote the sport, man. Promote the sport. Like I said before, man, I'm just an average guy who loves boxing when I'm looking out for the fighters and the fans. The fighters, like I said, no pension, man, and all that. But for the fans, man, no 24/7. You don't really get to see the fighters. Like, if these guys aren't on Floyd, like the casual fan, they know Floyd Mayweather and his opponent. They know Manny Pacquiao and his opponent, and maybe 3 or 4 other fighters, and that's it. The casual fan probably has no idea who Lomachenko is. The only reason why they probably know who Guillermo Rigondeaux is because he fought Nonito Donaire. Most Mexican fans, they know Canelo. You know what I mean? The average fan, they might know Deontay Wilder. They probably know who the Klitschko brothers are. Who is Sergey Kovalev? Who's Adonis Stevenson? And a commission can make those 2 guys fight. Unified for whatever reason. I'm not blaming either side. But Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson, make those guys fight. And I believe Adonis Stevenson is a light heavyweight champ. If you don't want to fight, you take his belt. Take his belt, take his money, suspend his license. That's what a commission can do. Come down hard on these guys, man. Come down hard. They don't like losing that money. You know what I'm saying? Come down hard on these guys. Make them fight. So Adonis Stevenson and Kovalev should have been fought. That's what a unified commission can do. I'm not saying that under the system that we have, that we never see great fights. I'm not saying that. We saw Ali fight Frazier and Foreman. We saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight Thomas Hearns and Hagler Duran. We saw Hearns knock out Duran. We saw all those fights. You know what I mean? Holyfield and Tyson and Lewis and Holyfield, De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones and James Toney, Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins. We saw these fights, but there are other fights that us fans we missed out on, or we had to wait 6 years to see it. That's what a unified commission can do. Push for it, fans. Push for that. Transnational boxing rankings. Look it up, man. That's what a unified commission can do, man. Create endorsements, bring in revenue for these fighters, get them pensions, insurance, things like that. I know I'm starting to repeat myself. I'm finna wrap. I know the video is really long. I apologize for that. I'm just really passionate about this. You know what I mean? So I apologize for it being so long. Like, subscribe, man. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Is a commission, is that even good? Or should we leave it like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? It's been this way for over a century now. Leave it like it is, you know? Go all the way back to Jack Johnson, about a century, should I say. Leave it like it is. Should we get a commission, but only do so much? Do you guys, I say no government involvement. Do you guys think the only way it can be possible, unless the government get involved? Which I don't think so. Because you're talking about boxing, there's a lot of money. A lot of money. You get the government involved with money, man. It's not a good combination. It's not a good look, man. That's why I say no government involvement, man. Say like, subscribe, man. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think, man. Look up transnational boxing rankings. Look them up. Look them up, man. That can be our single ranking system that the fans can go to. Things like that. Use social media. I know in the NBA to promote their D League games. NBA D League. The D League is kind of like the minor leagues, Major League Baseball. If you guys need to work on this game, whatever it may be, or you may not have a roster spot for them, send them down to the D League. NBA, they use YouTube for that. They use YouTube to promote their D League games. A unified commission, they can do that. Go around to local gyms, other fights that the average fan would never ever see, and put it on their 24/7 channel, so we can see who these guys are. Promote the sport, man. Promote. Now these things have never been done before, but hey, promote the sport, man. If the NBA can use D League to promote if the NBA uses YouTube to show their D League games, hey, why not? Why not boxing? That's what a unified commission can do, man. Go around with a 24/7 channel. Go around to local, say fighters you'll never know, you'll never even heard of. Things like that. Maybe even show some amateur fights. 24/7 channel. NFL Network, NFL got it. MLB. NBA, they can. I think hockey has one too. They can do. I think even golf has a 24/7 channel. I just want to promote the sport, man. That's it. I'm not saying I got all the answers. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm just, like I said before, I'm an average guy who just loves boxing, and I'm passionate about boxing. I want to promote the sport, man. Get these fighters paid, compensation. Insurance, pension, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys think, man. Like, subscribe, man. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys think, man. This your boy, The Real McCoy, man. My bad for the video being so low, man. I'm out. Peace.